Alright, you already know who it is, and if you don't, I'm gonna explain it to you. It's your boy, 21 Cabbage, aka Pythagoras. Let's hit it, Shouts out to Coach Mitcha, shouts out to Miss Rivers and Coach Arbo, Skirt. My name's Pythagoras, straight out of same old Greece. Before y'all were adding up numbers, I was dropping them beats, and I started making some equations out here in the streets. And by my calculations, nobody is better than me. My name's Pythagoras, and in case you forgot, I was kind of a big shot, but I'm kind of bored, so I've had it with this chorus. So let's move on to the verse, so I can speak on my life and the stuff that I was relevant in. People think that I was sent from heaven, what a blessing. Turns out my legend contradicts itself to keep you guessing, so I gotta flip it on its head, sugarcoat and stress it, take the truth from 10 and crank it all the way up to 11. Sorry, catching my breath for a second, I'm not losing you, am I? Oh, please stay connected. I'm kind of a teacher, mathematician, so I'm used to giving lessons and people sleeping on them, and it kinda makes me feel threatened or aggravated knowing somebody had advocated their idea on a logical number. So I threw him in the sea. Maybe next time he'll think twice to be like me, and I'd have me have to cover up his blunder. And that might sound a little too harsh, too hard for you to believe. I'd be a little bit much right now to fully perceive, but please just open up your mouth and fully agree that this is all 100% accurate. My name's Pythagoras, straight out of same old Greece. Before y'all were adding up numbers, I was dropping some beats, and I started making some equations down here in the streets. And by my calculations, nobody is better than me. My name's Pythagoras, and I wanna be a good Samaritan, but people always trying to outsmart me, and it's embarrassing. And if you knew me, I can make it clear like a Claritin, but I can't meet you, I'm a vegetarian. Used to talk to animals back in my prime, and at the time completely understandable, all good and fine. You couldn't find another single person tell me otherwise, or put me signs to make me feel low, cause I was dignified. Kinda like a god of them, starting my own religion, getting tied up like a cherry stem with all my students coming in, calling them Pythagoreans, putting all these letters with these numbers I was throwing in. Had a rule to worship the sacred bean I was harvesting. Couldn't eat them, but I let them grow out by the garden. And say I was a fan of veggies, yeah, I was the biggest partisan. Y'all all eating that fat and butter, nah, I'm sticking to margarine. And on top of this, I've lived 4 times, so that's a lot of knowledge, enough to fit up in these rhymes. And before you go on about the stuff you may have missed, just remember it doesn't take long to get the gist. I'm Pythagoras, straight out of same old Greece. Before y'all were adding them numbers, I was dropping them beats, and I started making some equations down here in the streets. And by my calculations, nobody is better than me. My name's Pythagoras, and in case you forgot, I was kind of a big shot, and I'm the highest, no cannabis. So let's take another go with the next verse, so I can remind you all again about what it's like to be relevant. Another fun fact, I like playing jokes, especially on the no good, dirty, rotten, stinking, filthy, greedy folks. So I designed a cup of flint or stone, so when they try to drink a bit too much, they got spilled on and soaked. Ha! So that's my story. Hope you didn't sleep in the middle like it was boring. Think of me when the sun shines or the rain starts pouring, and you can thank me for the knowledge that I've just been storing. You're welcome. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember that,